Hello everyone, this is Jotto and welcome to another deck tech. Now, I'm covering a deck which I was sort of known for actually last month, which was Wisdom Dominion Control. Now, for anyone who's been watching my stream, I have an interesting history with Wisdom Dominion Control. 2 patches ago, well, I guess last patch, I played a lot of Wisdom Dominion. It was actually the first deck I built and kind of tweaked a lot, and it was a very good deck, and that was because Silencer got buffed and things like that. Then I played it for the entire last ranked season, or rating race, I think is what they're called. But anyway, so yeah, I played it until the last day of the ranked season. Got sick of the mirror matches because the deck was overpowered, and the way the legend rule worked made the mirror matches abysmal to play. And then I stopped playing it until about 3 days ago, where this is actually the deck that I've picked up on ranked again. Yes, Wisdom Dominion got hit really hard with nerfs. It got, I think, 4 or 5 nerfs. Helm got nerfed because Stronghold Metropolis got changed. You can't use Stronghold anymore as effectively. Cataclysm got nerfed, Karthus got nerfed, Despina got nerfed because of the legend rule change. A lot of stuff got nerfed. However, as it turns out, the 5 extra life, along with the metagame, has actually made this deck good again. Its only bad matchup, really, is Rage Rush now, and honestly, no one's playing Rage Rush. Mid-range Rage is a bit better, because they don't have as many follow-ups, so you can kind of deal with it. And Keanu is really bad against Wisdom Dominion. Advanced Neva's a bit rough, but I'll take one bad matchup if I can get 2. On top of that, Wisdom Dominion does have a habit of kind of stomping decks that aren't very optimized, because they're a bit slower than normal, and since everyone's playing decks which are, let's just say, fairly new because they haven't been tinkering with them for that long, it means that they're a bit slower, and as a result the control deck kind of punishes them. So as a result, let's go through each of the cards. First things first, we've got 3 New Horizons, not 4. The reason for not 4 is because unlike Corruption, you can't use additional late game New Horizons to effect. You play 3 because you always want 1 in each game. 2 is okay, 3 is useless. That's basically how that goes. 3 is really bad. So yeah, you do in fact want your 1, maybe 2 New Horizons depending on the matchup. Going second, I rarely spark this. The reason for it is because you don't actually get anything out of it, you kind of just go first. So yeah, I don't tend to spark this out. I will play on turn 2, depends what I'm playing against. If I have a Protector in hand and I'm playing against Rage, I will New Horizons, because I would rather be going first and I can get Protector down with Spark at the same rate I can with New Horizons, but then I can curve into Library Guards, as you get the idea. So basically, if I have a 3-drop into a 4-drop in my hand, I will spark New Horizons, but I won't do it in the average game. But yeah, it ramps you up, it lets you get Cathedrals out of your deck when you've already played one, and it's just a very, very nice card for ramping. For Protectors, this is to help with mid-range Rage, and also just as a general value creature. Nothing else to say about it really. It's a really good creature. Just remember, use the shield immediately if you're against Rage, and on 1 HP creatures against Wisdom. Don't use the shield immediately in any other situation apart from if you're worried about it getting removed with Assassinate and you want to put a shield on like a 4/4 or something. But anyway, the point is that a lot of people use Protector shields too liberally, whereas you should only really be doing that against Rage to stop it from being fireballed. Protector is very, very good against Rage as a general thing. Next we have 2 Gnomes. I am only playing 2 because everyone else is running artifact removal and I have Advanced Despina, so I can get it. And also, it's a dead card in about half of your games. The other half is good, but in about half of your games it's pretty bad. It's a catch-all for any artifacts or spells, which is always handy. And it's just a good card. So 2 of 3, you draw them a few too many times, and if you really need it, sometimes you can just get it out of your opponent's deck, so you don't have to run 3, you can kind of skimp on it a little bit. It does come back to bite you against decks not running spell removal, but that's not too bad. Ancient Wisdom, obligatory card draw, 3 of. 4 is a bit too clunky, but you need card draw. It's good card draw. So yeah, 3 of, and the other card draw is Library Guards. Now, Library Guards is one of the best creatures in the deck. It has a relevant body, 3 speed, 2/3 is very difficult to deal with, it draws you a card so that you dig through your deck, and it smooths out your draws because it has 2 level requirement, not 3, and it's 3 mana, so it just fits into every single build. In terms of the early game of New Horizons, you can play it on turn 3. You can spark it on turn 3 as well to stabilize a little bit. It's actually really, really nice. It is a bit clogged at that mana slot now with the Cathedral change, but it still works, and it's still a very, very good card. Next, we have 4 Silencers. Yes, I was running 3 in my old version before the balance changes. The reason I'm running 4 right now is because no one can counter them. Advanced Despina is nowhere to be found, and as a result, Silencer is good. It's good against Rage because you play it. Basically, the way Silencer works is you play it when you have board control. You're not necessarily ahead, but if you have board control, you play Silencer, they can't play anything again, and then you win. And because you have 4, the more Silencers you have, the better they are, because you can chain them. So you can actually, I will win a lot of games by just going Silencer and Silencer. That's standard draw for me. Sometimes I'll go 3 in a game, but mostly just 2. And getting 2 is very, very good. It helps against Rage to stop burn, it helps against Nature, they can't landslide or anything. It's bad against Advanced Neva because they still draw, but it does mean that they just use the hero power to draw a bunch. But then they can't really break through it because it's both good and bad against Neva. They get to draw a bunch, but then they don't put any pressure on the board, and then they can't for 3 turns, so it's a mixed bag. But the point is that Advanced Neva is just a bad matchup in general. Against everything else, Silencer is amazing. No Advanced Despina at the moment means that they can't get a gnome out of your deck to kill your Silencers. Next, well, if we're going in order, Advanced Despina. Now, Advanced Despina has arguably got better. Now, the legend rule got changed, so you can't legend things out by getting them out of his deck, which was really stupid. However, it's still good. The reason it's still good is because there's a lot of mid-range right now. So against Keanu, which I mentioned is a really good matchup, which is mostly because of the Dominion side of things. Despina, if you activate it for 6 mana, you can get a Sun Chaser. I mean, not Sun Chaser. You can get any of the 5 first activation things like Harpy, Library Guards, and if you wait for 1 more mana, you can get things like Phoenixes, Sun Chasers, Necromantic Cults. There's some really good ones there in Keanu to get. Against Elves, this is mostly getting, against Advanced Neva Elves, it's mostly getting Mesmerizing Spirits to make them discard. Against Rage, you can get Looters, which are amazing. You can get Fias in the early game, or mid-game, I guess, to kill stuff. And you can get Ramgats for closing speed and Phoenixes later on. So it's actually just a very, very versatile ability now, and there's a lot more targets for this that are actually impacting. Mind Extortion. This is a 3-0 for 2 reasons. First of all, you don't know what you're playing against at the moment because the meta is so weird. Second of all, it lets you get rid of things you can't just deal with, like Dragonfires and Word of Fires on turn 1 when you want to go for a Protector on turn 2. And they just have Word of Fire, and then if you take it, your Protector's safe, and it's actually a 2-for-1. I really like Mind Extortion. It is technically you're down on tempo, but reality-wise, playing on turn 1 is often quite good depending on the deck you're playing against. It also gives you information, and you can play it later in the game, or save it until later in the game if you have a particularly good hand against that matchup and you just want to get a couple key cards. Very, very good against Portal as well. There's a couple demon decks running around, you just Mind Extortion on turn 1, or you just Mind Extortion on turn 1 basically and take that Portal. This is just so sad. Yeah, Mind Extortion is a very, very good card right now. Targeted discard is always good. Also lets you deal with Helms. Assassinate. Assassinate has always been a 3-0 in Dominion decks as far as I'm concerned. With everything being mid-range, the 2 attack matters a lot. It kills every Wisdom creature in the game. It kills pretty much every Order creature apart from Antriel with your Vampiric Touch for 5 mana, which I'll take, and you also gain some life. And on top of that, you can Helm the Antriel, so it's good against those. Against Dominion, it's okay. It's okay against Dominion, you can get rid of Assassins in multiple ways actually, but Dominion is not that popular right now. Gets rid of Flesh Sculptors, not very good against Rage, but can help by shrinking things with Vampiric Touch. It's just a very, very good removal spell. The reason I don't play 4 is because it's situational, and I don't like playing 4 of a situational removal spell. Next we have Assassin as a 3-0 Virgo. Yep, 3-0. Again, situational removal, don't like playing 4. Assassin requires you to start Dominion. Now, this is sometimes good, but I'd rather start Wisdom because of New Horizons. However, it is arguably the best 2-drop in the game. It kills everything. Bad against Dominion because of Vampiric Touch. However, Vampiric Touch is a turn slower now, and, as I said earlier, Dominion not too popular currently. So, Assassin will pretty much always be a 1-for-1, unless you have a Protector, and then it's a 2-for-1. And that's really messy. So yeah, Assassin's very, very good. It just deals with everything. It's bad against Phoenix, but most things bad against Phoenix, and you have answers to Phoenix, as we will get to in the next card. But yeah, Assassin is the creature form of Assassinate, and I would rather have 3 of each, so that I can play one out on turn 2, then 4 of one and 2 of the other, because they're good in different situations. Helm of Dominion. Now this is the other change from my other build, which was, it is now 3 of, not 2 of. The reason for this is twofold. Phoenix and Necromantic Cult, strangely enough. Yeah, basically everyone's running spell removal right now, so you need, well, it's an artifact, but the point is everyone's running unicorns and gnomes, so you need 3 because you need 2 to actually steal something half the time. But it's really good against Phoenix. You can't sack your own Phoenixes anymore, which is really messy, and it means that they actually can steal it back by killing the helm. You have to helm it again. So yeah, if you can kill off your own Phoenix when it's helmed, do it. If you can kill off your own Phoenix, go for it, because it the turn after, I mean, if you can trade, because it actually stops them from getting it back. Necromantic Cult is a nightmare, and Helm is what helps you deal with it, along with Karthus. A couple other big targets for this, things like Sun Chaser. I mentioned Keanu, and Keanu is horrific against Helm. They do have unicorns, but they only play 1 threat every 2 turns, 1 realistic threat every 2 turns, and you just Helmet or Karthus, and you just deal with all of this stuff, basically. So, Helm, very, very good. It actually became both weaker and stronger. It doesn't draw a card anymore with Sanctum. However, there's more targets, so you have to play more of them to compensate for the rest of the nerfs as well. On to the last 3 cards. Cataclysm. Yes, I'm still playing 2. I've been playing 2 for about a month and a half at this point. About 4 weeks. I played 3 at first. Cataclysm is at 6 mana, and even at 4, it was too clunky to run 3. However, because you don't want 2. However, having 1 is really good against a couple of things. Soldiers, which actually I don't even need it half the time. But yeah, soldiers. Red, in certain situations, never actually lets you beat never, and it's just a catch-all. And I will take Cataclysm. I only play Cataclysm 1 every 4 games, maybe 5 games, but when I get it, it's good, and I need it in certain matchups. That's always been my attitude towards Cataclysm. And yeah, the card, when it was 4 mana, it wasn't overpowered. However, it was impacting the way the entire game was built with mid-range, so I'm glad they nerfed it as much as they did. It's just a catch-all now for the late game, and a lot of games go longer, so you don't notice the nerf an insane amount, apart from against red, where you do notice it. But if Cataclysm hadn't been nerfed, and you got the life gain increase, oh, Cataclysm would kill everything in red. So yeah, Cataclysm's still good. Bloodborne Matriarch, still a 2 of. I've always been running Matriarchs as a 2 of. The reason it's 2, the creature is amazing, lets you use their spells. However, the reason it's 2 of is not every deck plays spells. But the other reason is because you will probably draw 1 a game, and there's more spells in the late game. It's very good against red, it blocks everything, and you can use it with Fireball, or even Word of Fire to draw when you're blocking in case they Fireball or something. Against green, it's not fantastic. You can use Tornado Outbreak, but that's about it. Unless they're playing Corruption, and then you get all of the good ones, like Noxious Fumes and Splitting Headache. That's a good one. Splitting Headache and Ancient Wisdom are arguably the best targets. And I really like using this against blue decks, because you get to use Ancient Wisdom. Blue-red is amazing with Matriarch. You get to use Ancient Wisdom, Fireballs. Like, it's 2 of the best targets for Matriarch, and it's a really good card. As I said though, the 4 health really helps with things like Flame Serpent and just red attacking creatures in general. Now, the last card in the deck, at least in terms of non-shrines, is 3 Karthus. Yes, Karthus got nerfed. No, it doesn't really matter, he's still a 3 of. He kills things immediately, he gains some life. He usually gains about 2, maybe 4 life in a game, although sometimes they have to burn him, so he gains more life effectively. So yeah, he does however gain 4 life on average. He's a big creature, he usually trades, and you can chain him. So he's just a very, very good creature. Does he gain you 1,000,000 life anymore? No. Should he have ever gained 1,000,000 life? Probably not. So as far as I'm concerned, with the life gain increase, and basically you start with 5 extra, but your life gain options are less. You will be gaining probably about 8 life a game, maybe 10, not 26. With Karthus and Cathedral. So in the end, it still works. So yeah, Karthus, one of the best creatures in the entire game currently, and is just a very, very powerful creature. Now you can't get their Karthus to kill their Karthus on board anymore, plus something else. You also can't have 2 on the board at the same time on your side, but it doesn't really matter. On to the shrine counts. Now, we do have 3 Cathedral. Cathedral still... Ugh, this is annoying. This happens every single video. Anyway. 3 Cathedral. Cathedral is still good. It's been nerfed a bit. It's a turn slower, and that does matter in the later turns as well, but it's still good enough to play. I'm not running Stronghold anymore, but you need a life gain and the removal with Cathedral. I'm not running Stronghold because, if you notice, I cut Spirits. I don't know, I think with Stronghold being weak, Stronghold was not in the Stronghold Metropolis was not in the deck for Spirits. Spirits were kind of okay with Metropolis, and they were just aggro stops in general, but with less aggro around, and also Helm of Dominion doesn't work with Stronghold anymore, which means Stronghold's not as good as it used to be. In terms of the rest of the Shrine counts, I'll move into the actual deck builder here. 9 Wisdom, 9 Dominion, giving you 12 in Dominion and 9 in Wisdom. Now, I'm pretty happy with this because you need double Dominion a lot earlier than double Wisdom, and often you can New Horizons for the second Wisdom, but you need double Dominion for your hero power, for Matriarch, and for Cataclysm. Not so much Karthus, because you'll go double Wisdom as well at that point. But in general, you want to start blue in a lot of games, apart from the times when you have sort of Spark with Assassin, Assassinate, or Mind Extortion, Assassinate, and things like that, and then it's good. So anyway, keep in mind Cathedral is often a mana source and the ability as opposed to the Dominion level. So anyway, we're going to play probably one game this particular deck tech, because this is a slower deck and it depends on the game, but I'm going to see if I can play one game simply because, as I said, the deck is a bit slower. But anyway, so yeah, as I said, as normal, if the queue goes to 1 minute, then I will cut it out. As far as other deck techs goes, I am working on some Keanu decks, and I may do a Tempo Wisdom sort of update. I have updated the Tempo Wisdom list a decent amount, and I'll do a bit more tinkering with it, and then I think I'll do a Tempo Wisdom deck tech again, since that is a deck which a lot of people actually quite like, and is, I don't know, it's one that's fairly close to my heart as far as that goes, because, well, it's a budget deck that wasn't intended to be budget. That's basically why. It's a budget deck that wasn't intended to be budget, and it's actually really, really good to build. I actually built it on my alt account as my first deck. Now, I don't know what I'm playing against. This is a keepable hand. This is bad, however, I don't know what I'm playing against, so the Mind Extortion is nice, and I'm going second, and I'll have 2 Divine Offerings, so I'll keep. I also have a Silencer to send back immediately, so this is a keepable hand, in my opinion. Okay. This is where things become a little bit harder. We'll send back a Helm, see what I get. Blue, that is perfect. We're going to turn 1 Mind Extort, see what he's playing. I'm guessing this is a Golem opening. Flash Freeze or Sleep? Flash Freeze is dangerous, but I think Sleep is worse. I'm taking the Sleep because he could use Sleep on my Assassin. Now, he doesn't have the Golem opening, however, he does have a Spectral Aurite. I think this may actually be basic blue. As usual, I don't edit games out normally because, I don't know, I prefer just showing the games I get as opposed to editing them out, and then people are like, oh, you only show the games you win, things like that. So I don't tend to edit out games, ever. I just kind of play through them, and if it's a short game, I'll play a second one, and then you get 2 games to show. Anyway, so for next turn, I think we may go Library Guards or Ancient Wisdom, depends what he does. I think I want to draw into removal. Oh, New Horizons. New Horizons is better here. We're going to send back the other Helm, see if I can get Cathedral as soon as possible, and then we're just going to New Horizons for a Dominion. I want to get that New Horizons down now. Next turn I can actually get... Can I get something out of his deck? For 3? Is there anything he really plays? 2 drops. Golems. That's about it. Spirits. Yeah, Disquisitive Spirits. Squirrels. Golems, things like that. Nothing really, though. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that and I'll just go for a Library Guards instead. I do want to actually spark out a Silencer. I may be able to get that under a... Can I get that under a Spectral Aurite? Is that possible? No. That's annoying. Ooh, Golem. Okay, this causes some issues here. He does have a Spectral Aurite coming up, and I have no way of dealing with it, so I would like to draw a Cathedral. Silencer's good, but I need some way of killing that, unfortunately. Draw. Nope. Yeah, it's a bit strange sometimes. Library Guards. This is a bit of an issue. I'm gonna... Let's see, I do have Shield. Not Shield, I do have Assassin, but he has the Shield. He's gonna play Spectral Aurite here and give it 6 attack. This hand wasn't fantastic. I didn't draw any way of killing a charged Aurite. Ah, there's the sleep. He's gonna sleep this thing and double attack it. Interesting that he's not playing Spectral Aurite here. Then again, he may be fairly new to the game if he's playing Basic Wisdom. Alright, so I don't lose my Library Guards here. Well, I mean, I do to the Flash Freeze, but at least he has to invest something else. The Assassin wouldn't be useful anyway, because he could just attack and shield. Actually, no, he couldn't do that. Should I have saved that Assassin? I don't know. He wouldn't have used the Flash Freeze otherwise. I mean, I can actually get a Silencer down now. 6. That's crazy. Yeah, this is when you use some of them, because there's too much energy on one guy. Okay, so this is where I play Silencer and hope for the best. New Horizons is not useful, so I'll send it back. A Karthus would be really good at this point. I just need something like Karthus, Cataclysm even. Something that will help me live. Now, if he just dumps all of his mana into this, I can play another Silencer and keep drawing. I'm taking 5 a turn. It's not a lot, but it is something. Silencer is a very, very good card against Wisdom in general. They have issues breaking through it. He does have that Spectral. I'm kind of worried about that Spectral because I don't have any way of actually killing it. Next turn, I may actually just go double Wisdom and hope for the best. Double Ancient Wisdom. Kind of hoping for a Cathedral. I do have 3 in the deck, so I should be able to draw one. This is quite funny because it's against Basic Wisdom, but I'm actually having issues because I didn't draw fantastically this game. Maybe I shouldn't have kept that hand. It's debatable. I had an Assassin in it. It just wasn't good against the back row guys. He's down to 2 cards in hand. Can I take another 5 if it means I play Silencer? Sketchy. Divine Offering, try and get Cathedral. There's a Cathedral. I don't mind taking 5 if it means I can take out one of them and heal up a bit, and then this does stop him from doing things. And I think at this point I just need to kind of stop him from doing things. Even with the nerf on Silencer, it's still very good. Yeah, he's in the draw here. I'm just trying to buy time since I did draw a bit dead this game. Maybe I'll just draw into a Cataclysm. That would actually reset this game completely. It's very quiet. Oh, I forgot to turn the music on. Yeah, normally whenever I'm streaming I have music from a playlist on, but whenever I do videos I have the Spellweaver music on, so I should probably change that. Yeah, I normally have the Spellweaver music on because it adds a little bit to the ambience. Not a lot, but it's something. Anyway. It's the sound of my speakers changing. Anyway, alright, let's... Matriarch. Did he play anything? Flash Freeze, Ancient Wisdom, but I have my own Ancient Wisdoms. Another Silencer. I think I just Vampiric Touch the Charged Aurite, and I just need to slow this game down as much as I can. Yeah, this may be quite a long game. We'll see. I do have that third silencer. I am kind of chaining silencers. The problem is I'm not doing anything as well as chaining silencers. I'm just kind of chaining silencers. Sounds amazing, but it's not sometimes. What is with the sounds? Now I've got suddenly no in-game sound. Okay, just the in-game sound is broken apparently. That happens sometimes. Now, I think double library guards is best here. I saw a Karthus. I put a Karthus on the bottom, so I want to keep shuffling that up. I'm just trying to survive. I'm a bit worried about the amount of damage I'm taking. I know there's a lamp in that deck. I'm quite terrified of that lamp, to be honest. Especially since he's drawing through most of his deck, so he'll draw it eventually. Now, next turn, I can... Actually, this is not Basic Wisdom, because he has a Gnome, and Gnomes are not in the Basic Wisdom deck. I could block 4 damage here, or I could just kill 1. Actually, no, I can't, because of the shield on this guy. Flash Freeze, that's fine. Yeah, the sound's completely broken. Normally there is sound. But no, the sound's completely off. That's really disconcerting. I wondered why it was so quiet. Yeah, beta's beta. It gets a bit buggy sometimes. And Saving Grace Cataclysm. Yeah, Cataclysm. It's slow, but it does the job. Like, you still need Cataclysm in my opinion. It helps in situations that no other card can. Now I can Vampiric Touch this and just slow it down to a crawl. Helm is good. I drew 4 silencers in one game. How did that happen? I'm gonna go Assassin Protector instead, since that will actually kill it. Yeah, I should. This is when the game starts being taken over. This is why you need 4 silencers. Not because I drew 4, but it increases the chances of you drawing them. I mean, I drew 4, but I didn't get any Karthus, so it balances out. Yeah, being legendary is a bit annoying. Can't keep playing them. I do replace my own silencers frequently. If they take silencer down to 2 energy, it's because they're being smart. They should take down a silencer to 2 energy and then break it and play something on the same turn to play around others. And in that situation, you're kind of forced to just play another silencer. Or have a method of playing another silencer and dealing with their threat, which is often difficult. Now I'm going to... There's the Gnome. Water Element. I mean, Frost Elemental. One of those cards which I feel like should get a buff at some point. That is annoying. That is a problem. Let's draw some cards. I could Flash Freeze twice in one turn now that I think about it. 4th Silencer, because I'm apparently a very mean person in this game. Concession? Yeah. Now, that wasn't exactly the most... It wasn't exactly the most, like... I don't know. It didn't exactly show the deck normally does. But that did show one thing. Cataclysm is still good. But yeah, in all seriousness, the deck is actually fairly consistent. I've been playing with this on Ranked, and I have been getting to rank 1 with it consistently. I switched to it from Rage Midrange. I actually think Rage Midrange has some issues because of Keanu, this guy. I've got a couple Keanu decks which I want to show, but that will probably be... The next video I do will probably be a Keanu deck. Keanu decks are fairly difficult to build. So that's why I've been laying off a little bit on it. But yeah, I think the next deck I do will probably be a Keanu deck. Now, I'll be using Trenol's new deck builder, and I'll put this in the description, because that deck builder is actually readable, unlike Spellweaver Database was. So yeah, that one's actually quite good, so I'll be putting this in that particular deck builder, and I will put that in the description. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you have any feedback or want to ask me any questions about the deck, put it in the comment section below. Perhaps now, this is Jotto, signing off.